Here, this is Lord Potato, and this is this is a what if? What if Naruto was the son of the Demon King? Now, I know what you're thinking. Which Demon King? Well, that's uh, the Demon King would be I'm not much of a religion person, so I don't know much of the religions or anything. This Demon King is actually gonna be a mixture of a couple of animes that kind of has like what's it called? Either an antagonist or protagonist of the Demon King or something. But yeah, it's going to be a couple of powers, but mostly, if you want to think about it, it's going to be Lucifer. Yes, Naruto's going to be the son of Lucifer. But instead of me putting Lucifer, because I know none of these people are gonna know who am I actually talking about. Someone the Demon King, Lucifer is gonna be it. But now I should mention one thing. I am kind of tired a little bit. Oh, never mind. I'm not a little bit tired. I'm full blown tired. I should mention one thing. I am very tired, and I'm gonna be fucking up almost all my words. Yeah. So, yeah, you're just gonna hear me kind of fuck up some words because I'm tired. It's going to rain. I'm waiting for the rain to start raining so I can just go to sleep because I just love hearing the rain while sleeping. But yeah, other than that, before I begin, go subscribe to Anime Sensei, Iconic What Ifs, Obito What Ifs, and my second channel if you want to go hear storytime videos or even see me gameplay that I suck at games. But other than that, let me begin into part 1 of What If Naruto was the son of the Demon King. Part 1. Now, let's begin. So, we go into Naruto being born. There is actually 3 children that are actually born. Well, yeah, 3 children that were born in the Namikaze Uzumaki compound, with Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze having 3 children. One is named Menma Uzumaki, or not Menma Uzumaki, Menma Namikaze, Minto Uzumaki Namikaze, and the last one being the youngest out of all 3 of them, supposedly, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. But his last name won't matter that long. So, of course, the Ninetales will still attack. And, of course, this is where, Hiruzen Sarutobi was sacrificed his life to seal the Ninetales into, 3 children. Now, the Shinigami noticed one thing, and one thing special about Naruto. Something that kind of shocked him, and actually made him think for a little bit. Of course, when he was sealing the Ninetales, he sealed 60% of the Ninetales, even the soul fragment, not the soul fragment, the soul into, Naruto. 20% into Mento, and 20% into Menma. So, yeah. Actually, no, instead of being Mento, I'm actually going to change Mento to be a second brother, so instead of Naruto having only a brother sister, he actually has. Actually, no. Yeah, you want it'd be Mento. So yeah. Of course, Naruto, he has the 60% of the Ninetales, and the soul spirit, the spirit of the Ninetales. Now, of course, the Shinigami is leaving, but he has a keen eye on Naruto. That's why he left something else in Naruto. Something that Naruto will unlock in the near future. Something that the Shinigami knows that he will unlock. Something so powerful, so demonic, so great that he will be just like his father. Now, this is where, we go into a time skip. A time skip of Naruto, who is 5-year-old, kind of running away from the villagers. Now, of course, I should mention what happened. Minato Makaze saw that his children, well, both Minto and Menma, have 20% of the Naito, while Naruto has 60% and has a soul fragment. This is where Minato realized that he needs to think of something to take care of her children. So he realized that the youngest might die easily because he's the youngest. So he decides to blame all of the hate and glares and murder attempts on Naruto. So yeah. So of course Naruto is now just named Naruto Uzumaki. While Naruto is running away from villagers and trying to escape, this is where ninjas still find him and actually stab him. So of course Naruto can never escape fully from the mob. Of course Naruto lives in actually not even an apartment. He lives nowhere. He lives in this kind of cardboard box. Pretty much. So, I should mention one thing. This is a neglected series. A what if neglected. I should also mention that I haven't done a neglected what if in such a long time that it's going to, well, have a twist in the end or something like that. But of course, this is where Naruto, he is, well, of course, just hiding in his cardboard box, trying to hide away from people. But of course, his chakra is so kind of potent, and well, just potent enough. Well, not potent actually, just there's too much of it, so he can never hide that much. But of course, this is only a 5-year-old Naruto. There's pretty much no way for Naruto to be able to control his chakra, and since he has so much about it, too much of it. So yeah. So, of course, this is where, well, Naruto, we go into a time skip of what Naruto being 7 years old. He is still not old enough to go into the academy. He thinks he doesn't even want to go in the academy. He doesn't even want to be in this village. He lost so much hope. Until, well, one day changed all of his hope. This is where, well, Naruto was actually betrayed by the people he actually came close to kind of like. And that is Taiuchi and Ayame. This is where, well, Naruto kind of ate there for free sometimes not. But this is where one day on his birthday, when he just turned 7, this is where Naruto was running away from villagers. And of course, he managed to get to Ayame and Taiuchi's restaurant. Until when he gets there, he tried to hide, but of course the crowd still managed to find Naruto. And instead of Taiuchi and Ayame looking and trying to help him, this is where, well, they look away. They turn a blind eye for Naruto. This is where Naruto widened his eyes and saw that he cannot trust anyone. He can never trust anyone. Everyone hates him. This is where he tries to reach out his hand to kind of scream out Ayame or Taiuchi's name. And of course, his voice then came out. Didn't scream, shout, or anything. This is where Naruto's taken to an alleyway to be beaten the crap out of, close to death. This is where, when Naruto was about to just pass out from the bloodlust and everything, well, not bloodlust, the blood lost. So yeah. It's where Naruto, he's fully dying, slowly. Drip. His blood goes down. Drip again. Drip. That's where Naruto opened his eyes. And no, he is not in the alleyway. This is where he hears drip again. He turns around and looks everywhere. He sees that he's not in an alleyway, but he looks like he's in the sewage instead of the alleyway. This is where he sees the water that's colored yellow. And of course, this is where Naruto's going around. Sees a bunch of pipes, and so he's following where that drip is coming from. Drip. This is where Naruto keeps following it. Keeps hearing the sound until he goes towards where that sound is. And he sees, well, something that scared the shit out of him for a second. And then when he kind of he was about to back away until Naruto just didn't care. His despair himself, hating everything about this world. Just didn't care if he died or not. This is where he goes forward instead of going backwards. He didn't step backwards anymore. He decided to go forward. This is where, well, Kurama opened his eyes, showing his slick red eyes, seeing Naruto growling at him and says, "Ah, my container came to see me. Hello there, little brat." So where Naruto, he's not amused. He's not showing scared, fear, or anything towards Kurama. The only thing he's showing is despair, hopelessness from anything in this world. This is where, well, Kurama says, "Oh, so it seems that you've broken down. Well, how about open the cage from this?" Swear Naruto doesn't know anything about the cage. And so Naruto decides to go and try to open the seal. The sealing tag. When he was about a couple of inches from like ripping out the tag, something happened. No, it's not Minato Namikaze stopping it. No, it's not Harusen. Something else stopped him from actually, well, releasing the Nine Tails. Something more not murderous, more, how should I say, death-like. Something that stopped Naruto's hand. And Naruto didn't die. But this hand is so skinny that it's purple. It's kind of skinny and purple skin color. Of course, when Naruto, he turned away from the sealing tag to look at the person who just stopped him from grabbing the sealing tag. This is where Kurama widened his eyes. Shinigami? This is where the Shinigami smiles and says, "Hello there," in such a raspy, dark tone voice. He says, "Hello there, Chayo." This is where Naruto's confused. Who is this person? Why is it stopping him from ripping the tag? Naruto isn't annoyed. He's just confused. Now, of course, this is where Kurama is confused. Why the Shinigami is here? Why is he here? Why? This is where, well, he thinks that maybe if Naruto ripped the sealing tag, the Shinigami would take his soul. Kurama widened his eyes. He doesn't know what the seal does. He was just thinking the seal tag, just rip it off and he can be free. He doesn't know what it actually does. Of course, Naruto is looking at, well, the, well, pure black but also yellow dot irises of the Shinigami. That's what Naruto's looking into. Now, of course, Naruto can feel death just kind of emitting from the Shinigami, death himself. But not really. Naruto feels like this person is not really death, not himself. This is where Naruto says, "Who are you?" The Shinigami laughs and says, "You're a pretty smart kid. But I am the Shinigami. You mortals like to call me the Shinigami, death. But, I would say that I am deaf, but not really at the same time." Naruto looks at him, narrows his eyes, confusedly. But this is where he has a feeling that the Shinigami is not the real death. He doesn't know why he has this nagging feeling. Like, for some reason he knows that the Shinigami is not the actual real god of death. Someone else. The Shinigami is just someone that can go into the mortal world and be seen by the visible eye, the user who summoned it. But he is not truly death himself. He's only a servant. Naruto's thinking. This is where he was wondering how he even thought of that. For being isolated and never being taught, for some reason he was always so smart. Really smart as a kid. He doesn't know why. But of course, the Shinigami laughs a little bit. "Ah, it seems that you have the knowledge just like your father. Very interesting. Just like that man." This is where, well, his voice, he just decides to laugh for a little bit. And his voice sounds like if you're just kind of, okay, a chalkboard. You know how when you put your nails into a chalkboard and scrape down? Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So screechy as hell. And of course, this is where Naruto is not disturbed. It's not hurting his ears or anything. But Kurama, he's like, ugh. This is where, well, the Shinigami laughs for the This is where Naruto is saying, then if you're not death himself, why are you stopping me from killing myself? This is where the Shinigami says, oh, that's interesting. So you haven't still figured it out. Then again, you are only half human. This is where Kurama widened his eye, thinking, half human? What the hell was he talking about? Half human, half human. This is where the Shinigami twisted his neck to see the 9 tails with his orange fur. The Shinigami, well, not the Shinigami, both the Shinigami and Kurama's eyes connected. Kurama sees nothing but death into those eyes. The Shinigami looks at him and says, just like what I said, Furball, he is only half human, exactly. This is where Kurama says, what do you mean? Well, are you saying that he's also Shinigami? Half Shinigami? This is where the Shinigami laughs and says, oh, he's not deaf. He's not half of it. No, no, no. He's something much greater, something much powerful than you can ever imagine. What's it called? 9 tails. You and your internal life, since you're just made out of chakra, I can't really take your spirit or soul like that. But you better watch out with this boy. This boy is coming for great things and big things alike. And you will feel and see his power when he grows up to be such a young and strong, well, king. It's where the Shinigami did close his eyes to say it like that. It's where Kurama kind of narrowed his eyes, saying, king? King of what? Oh, not king exactly. Mostly prince. So, Naruto, young prince, how will you like this world to be at your mercy, be burnt alive, or how? Naruto's confused. Prince? This is where Kurama is also narrowing his eyes, saying, prince, what the hell are you talking about? The Shinigami says, silent fox. Even if I'm here, I'm not fully here. I'm just left a fragment of my power here. To talk to the young prince like exactly what I said. This is where, well, Kurama says, a fragment of power? What for? Why do you keep calling him prince? This is where Kurama is kind of getting angrier. He doesn't know why the Shinigami is keep calling Naruto prince and not just human, mere human, half human, mere half human. Kurama is so confused what is happening. He doesn't understand anything with Naruto. He just thought Naruto was a human-born child of Kushina Uzumaki and Namikaze Minato. He doesn't know what is happening. The Shinigami goes up to Naruto and says, are you afraid of me, boy? Are you afraid of me, young prince? That's where Naruto looks at him, stares back into his eyes, and this is where Naruto closes his eyes, and this is where instead of like showing white around his like irises and all that, it's black and showing a crystallized dark blue eyes. This is where Naruto says, I am not afraid of you. The Shinigami smiles and also sees Naruto's hair turns from blonde to black. And Naruto says, I am not afraid of you. I don't feel fear. I don't feel anything. The Shinigami smiles and says, good. A young prince like you won't need to feel fear, feel despair or anything. Besides, you are the prince, aren't you? Naruto Uzu. Wait, no, I shouldn't say Your last name. Yes, you might have the Uzumaki Namikaze title, whatever, but they won't come close to the true last name that you have. The true power. And, what's it called? Ninetales. You will also know this name very well when it comes from my lips, or mostly my mouth. You will now know the true reason why I keep calling him Young Prince. Would you like to know what your last name is? Naruto Prince, or Prince. This is where Naruto says. Yes, he said it in such a stern voice. This is where the Shinigami delightedly just smiles more, grins more, and says, okay, my young prince, your last name is Morningstar. This is where he opened his eyes again, the Shinigami. He's showing his yellow irises, connecting to the blue irises of Naruto's eyes. This is where Naruto says, Morningstar? This is where Kurama widened his eyes, realizing why the Shinigami keep calling him Young Prince. Morningstar. The only man, the only person that can make the Shinigami, the Sage of Six Path, any god, fear his name. Even Kurama shedding his pants. Well, yeah. This is where Kurama widens his eyes. Widens him so much. But how? How? No, that can't be possibly true. Morningstar. The only person that's named Morningstar is Lucifer. He said it quietly, but Naruto managed to hear him. Lucifer? What are you talking about? Ninetales. This is where the Shinigami said, like he said, the only person that has that last name is Lucifer Morningstar, also known the king of the demon world. Truly the king, mostly the ruler of the demon world. But, kid, since you are his son, and he is the king of the underworld, that means you're a prince. A prince. But why I said you are only half human, it's because, well, like I said, I don't know how Lucifer, how he even had a kid. Even though he didn't even, Shinigami's trying to think, how did Lucifer even have a kid? And this kid being, well, in the family of the Uzumaki Namikaze. This is where the Shinigami decides to take a closer look into Naruto by actually touching him to see if anything will happen. He knows that his hands are usually, if he touches anyone, it's called Death's Touch. But when he touches Naruto, when he did grab into Naruto's hand, it looked like Naruto didn't, mostly flinch, didn't feel death, didn't feel the soul being taken out. The Shinigami knows about his hands being deaf and all that. But of course, it's where, well, he then touches Naruto, and then tells Naruto to look into his eyes. Naruto does, and the Shinigami looks around for information until he lets go of Naruto and smiles even more. He smiles even more. Lucifer Morningstar is a genius. A genius. Only, well, a godly genius. A god amongst men. This is where, well, what's it called? The Shinigami, what he saw is Lucifer using half of his power. Well, not half of his power. A little bit, well, enough power to make this kind of glow star. Like this kind of globe star. It looks like a star just kind of glowing on his hand. And this is where Lucifer looks for into the mortal world. Into a woman that he actually saw, so beautiful, named Kushina Uzumaki, just picking flowers when Lucifer did go into the world. And this is where Morningstar, well, Lucifer, goes up to Kushina and gives her a flower and kind of hugs her a little bit. This is where Kushina just thought that this man was just being kind of flirting a little bit with her. And this is where, well, Lucifer places the star into, well, behind Kushina Uzumaki. Because that was the first woman that Lucifer saw. This is where Lucifer did see that Kushina Uzumaki was only going to have 2 children, Menma Uzumaki and Mento Uzumaki. But the third child, the light creation star that Lucifer made, puts it into Kushina, and that last, well, power kind of merges with Kushina, making a third child named Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Here's where the Shinigami smiles, seeing that Lucifer is truly a genius. A genius. Now, of course, Lucifer couldn't really make a child on his own, so that's why he made a child with a kind of human woman without doing the, what's it called, proper need to make a child. Instead, he made it with his power, and he just needed a human woman to kind of bring out a child, to bring out his physical body. So that's why Naruto Uzumaki is not surely what's it called Minato Namikaze's child. It kind of is what's it called Kushina's child. But yeah. Well, I should mention one thing. Naruto's hair was blonde for a little bit until it changed black. Reason, well, not blonde. It was black in the beginning. So yeah, I should mention that. It's not blonde. Screw the beginning. But yeah. But of course, Menma's hair is blonde, while Mento's hair is red. So yeah. But of course, this is where, well, the Shinigami... Wait. Sorry about that. I kind of had to yawn. But, of course, this is where, well, the Shinigami says, genius. Genius indeed. Truly a master of his fucking work. This is where the Shinigami says, no wonder you cannot be affected by the death touch. No wonder you can't be afraid, but a genius, just like your father. But I will be keeping that secret with me forever. So, Furball, what would you like to do? Strike the child of, well, Lucifer Morningstar and try to kill him. But you know, if Naruto does go down to the underneath world as a dead soul, Lucifer will probably come and haunt you and kill you and rip you to shreds. And even though I can't take your soul, doesn't mean anything about, well, the true leader of death. It's where the Shinigami smiles, grins at Kurama. Kurama, well, thank God that the Shinigami can't take a soul, but he doesn't want to fight against Lucifer Morningstar, the true king of the underworld. That's where, well, he then decides to think really fast. That's where Kurama says, I'll help him. I'll help him train. That's where Lucifer says, good. Then good luck in it. Oh, kid, I forgot to mention something. Here. That's where the Shinigami gives him something on Naruto's arm. This something is a ceiling tag. Or not ceiling tag. A ceiling array that the Shinigami puts on him. Just in case that Naruto ever wants to contact the Shinigami. Or even his, well, leader. Again. And try to talk to them. This ceiling array kind of helps him summon out the Shinigami. Or someone much stronger than the Shinigami. This is where, well, the Shinigami says, but other than that, bye. The Shinigami leaves and disappears into the dark like if nothing was there in the beginning to begin with. This is where, well, Naruto sees the ceiling array, and of course the ceiling array is not black ink, but instead this kind of grayish and dark energy coming off of that what's called, well, ceiling array. Sorry for keep yawning. I just keep forgetting to pause. Sorry. I just have my eyes closed and that's why I can't really pause. So yeah, sorry about that. But of course, back into water. So of course, this is where Naruto was confused, but at the same time not scared and amazed. So if he was this prince, supposedly prince of an underworld, that he thinks, what does he mean underworld? What does he mean by Lucifer? Why do I know that name so easily in my head? Only hearing it once and I'm already knowing how to spell it. How? How? It's where, Lucifer is right now in the underworld. This is where, he felt kind of something in the human world for a little bit. Then it disappears. Then he says, interesting. What am I forgetting in the human world? What did I do? I'll figure it out later. This is where Lucifer is right now torturing people in a kind of like fight in a gladiator kind of fight where two people are with someone with a spear, someone with a sword. So yeah, that's fighting. This is where Lucifer is watching it and just amused. It's where Naruto, on the other hand, is talking to Kurama, but I am actually gonna leave it off here for part 1. Reason why I'm so tired, so damn tired, I'm actually about to fall asleep. But yeah. But have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato. If you like it, subscribe, like, comment, I guess. Wait, I'm supposed to just say that in my only second channel. My first channel, I don't really care if I do any of that. But other than that, I'm gonna leave. Peace out, guys. I'm just too damn tired. Okay, bye.